What's up, y'all? Big Red here, coming at you another Fallout 76 video on the channel. Welcome to another Clash of the Titans, where we do some classic Unarmed as a Ghoul. Is it worth playing Unarmed as a Ghoul? The best legendary effects if you want to play as a Ghoul unarmed, but unarmed ain't never been more easier than as a Ghoul. Very powerful and not too complicated. So we'll get into it. We're going to do several different runs and compare different legendary effects. We're going to use the Titan, which is my favorite melee, especially unarmed, testing dummy, because his belly is a weak point and we can just sit there and punch him in the belly. We got several different weapons. On this run, we're going to be testing a Furious with power attack damage with a Pounders on there plus 3 strength. Then we'll try Furious with weapon speed, and we'll compare those two at the end of the fight too. What's better, weapon speed and power attack damage? This has a Pounders on it. Then we have another Furious, but this one we put the combo breaker, which is not a bad effect, but you lose out some damage, but it does keep you from running out of action points. But you can also avoid that by light jab, heavy jab. But then finish it off on this run, we'll use the Executioner with power attack damage to give us a comparison of how much you're really getting with the Furious. With that multiplicative damage of an Executioner, we'll be able to see where that Furious is really putting us at. And then we'll come back with some Anthem Armor and Aristocrats. So thank you for my subscribers, everybody tuning in and watching. We'll be using a full set of Aristocrats, Torn Armor, strengthened with plus 2 endurance on each piece. With Through Hikers, I got only one piece of Bruisers. The rest Sawbones was set up for a bloody build. My Torn Armor was, so I had to change it. Yeah, so good thing about this, most of our damage comes from us being feral. Obviously, we are feral. We got Bird Bones and Eagle Eyes cancel to help with our strength. They give us a little extra strength. And we got a bobblehead bobblehead strength for plus 2 strength. And we got camp item giving us a little extra strength. Our strength is 36 right now. We also got Deathclaw Wellington giving us 6 to our strength. Company T giving us AP regen. We're feral, we're getting 150% melee damage from that. We're also getting 170 melee damage from our tasty meat dish. And I got some AP buffs in there. We're going to go over all that. We are a carnivore, obviously. That's for our melee. And yeah, you see all the rest of them. That's the most important one, that we're carnivore. The most of the damage comes from radioactive strength, feral, and the tasty dish. That gives us almost like 450% boost. Strength does affect it, but you can sacrifice your strength on your armor and put your endurance. That way you got more glow and you don't lose your glow as quick. But yeah, we're testing stuff. It's not exactly a build video, but I just want to throw it out there. Brick wall is important, incisor is important, martial artist for swing speed is important, blocker is important, taking less damage, grenadier because we have exploding palm for the area, try to spread that explosion. We got feral rage so we don't consume our glow, and we got plus 5 legendary strength on top of our 15 strength, giving us a base of 20. I breathe it in because I got Secret Service Under Armor give us 4 strength, and it also gives us 2 or 4 to our endurance. So in order to cancel that out, we gotta breathe it in. Rad Reaver replenishes our glow back whenever we get a hit. We get damage, so that works in conjunction with the feral. What card is that? Feral Rage. My bad. We've got Life Giver, obviously giving us more life. And a Managed Skeleton working with our strengthens, that way we don't have any limb damage. All night long, normally I'd take skin at 3, but we want our whiskey to last through the fight, so all night long for our whiskey. Radiation Power giving us 20% extra damage. Glowing Out giving us our glow or consuming our toxic goo. Party Boy giving us 6 strength because our whiskey gives us 6 because we're tripling it. Tenderizer, we'll get an extra 100% damage once we're hitting them 100 times, so definitely important. Mad Scientist gives another 20% damage. Since we dropped the nuke, we won't be consuming any glow, but if you have Rad Reaver and Feral, the other Feral, oh my gosh, Feral Rage, then you really don't consume no glow. Bomb scientist and demolition expert working together, trying to get a little extra explosion, testing that out, if it's worth it or not. Action boy, obviously, evasive and moving target working together, get an evade chance with hyper reflexes. Moving target gives us resistance, my bad. Hyper reflexes and evasive giving us an evade chance. White knight, definitely important to get your armor don't break. Ricochet, so obviously things can be ricocheted. Palti spot, get a weak point damage. Give assault, why not? Got 1 point. Bloody mass, extra 15%. Alright. All that being said, let's just get right to it. We're starting with the Furious with power attack damage first. If you haven't ever played Unharmed, it is a very fun play style. Now, Fallout doesn't have the best mechanics for melee, but it is super fun. There's just something satisfying about going around punching something in the face and seeing it, and we'll see which. Just a different variety give you, in case you never played, especially as a ghoul, you need to try it, because the amount of damage we're getting is insane. Alright, we're going to do a whiskey. Now we are at 42 strength. What's up, big guy? No problems. It definitely gets full health. Okay, 4,000. Let's get our get some small punches in and get our numbers up. We're at 10. Come on, we gotta get up a little higher than that. Like 5,200. So 5,278. That's what we're getting. That was it at 5,348. That's 19 stacks. That's maxed out. Look at that damage, dude. That's insane. Just start around the AP, just hit your little couple of quick jabs in, and then come back and get another. Come on, game. How can I compare it to whenever this is happening? This game right here. I lost all my stacks. Oh, alright. That's kind of frustrating. So we're getting 5,300. That is an insane amount of damage. Taking one for a team is not even really necessary unless you're going against a boss. You're going to one hit everything playing as a ghoul unarmed easily. I kind of want another run because I kind of want to be able to. Come on. Be able to compare these two. I kind of need to go back and do this again. So what'll happen is we'll after we do this run, I'll probably just start clipping in all the other runs. We won't go over everything again. All right, here we are. Now we're at 5,200 again. Get to 5,300. Come on. 53.42, 53.43. That's insane. So just pay attention to your AP. With not having weapon speed, you can see I'm not really having a hard time. No, the 5,400 on that one. Not really having too hard of a time keeping up with the AP. once you get your stacks up, it's just fast enough. You'll keep right there. Now, if we're not playing my boss, definitely put on your gunslinger master. That way you can just already be at those max stacks. But we finally got a good one. I like that. We can make a comparison. Now we'll do a weapon speed with the Furious. Even your light punches can one hit everything. That's how crazy powerful this is. Alright, let's get back to our weapons. Which one is this? Weapon speed with all the pounders. Let's do that. And notice I don't got any adrenaline. Not even really necessary. Plus, I didn't want to. Come on, I didn't want to have inconsistent numbers based on the adrenaline. Alright, there we are. A lot faster. I'm able to get my stacks up without having to use light punches. So we're at max stacks and we're at 4,600. I watch my AP though. With weapon speed, you will run out of AP if you don't anything. Just throw in some light jabs in there. 4,600, 4,663. That's still great damage. Couple of small jabs, and then, but a lot faster. So. Daily driver. Power attack damage is really good. Will it for 4676? I think it's the highest one. All right, there we go. Y'all, come on. We'll switch to the executioners. Switch over. This one has the power attack damage, just to give us a good, feel just how much where that Furious is actually hitting at. Remember, executioner is the multiplicative. The Furious gives us 145% extra damage. With you got the pounders giving us 10% with 10 stacks, and then 5% at 9 stacks. So. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and do another whiskey just to be case. Alright, now 6,000, 6,200. Let's get our stacks up. We only can get so many, but let's get them up. 6,600, 6,400. There we are. Now we get a full stack, 6,700. That's pretty insane. So we were getting 5,400 with the Furious. So, man, that shows you how powerful the Furious effect really is, though. Definitely gonna go unarmed. Probably wouldn't hurt to have the executioners on there to finish them off. You wanna do some boss fights? There we go. Boom. I don't have to even touch them. They just die when I come to them. If you want to change up in your play style, that's what I would recommend. A little more of a challenge. And I'm not saying this is even hard. I mean, not as a ghoul, it's not. You're not going low health. You don't have to. You got. Especially if you launch a nuke right onto Nuka World, you're like supercharged. But even with Rad Reaver and Feral Rage, you still should be able to keep your glow for the most part. I'll have another video with Earl coming out after this one. It's still manageable, especially with your endurance high. All right, that's it for these runs. Now we'll start clipping them in. We'll do one with the combo. And especially if you launch the nuke in Nuka World, Super easy. He says his weak spot is perfect for melee. There we go. Get a little bit less. 3,600, 3,700. But I'm not running out of AP. So that is, the benefit. But we really didn't struggle too bad with the AP because I've done it enough where you just got to throw a couple light punches and you can manage your AP. Definitely think weapon speed probably the way to go. But we'll compare these and we'll see which one really is the better of them. Let's go jab in there. My AP refresh. There we go. Still 3,800 ain't no slouch. 37. That ain't no slouch. All right, here we go. Who likes to get bullied? Nobody likes to bully. Well, let's bully the bully bull. All right, so the bully, we get an extra 15% damage, weak spot, which is good, like for this, because we can reach the weak spot, but you always can't reach your weak spot, so you have that going for you. But you don't have to ramp it up and get to your stacks, which is a little bit harder when you're doing melee. So we're getting 39, 34, 39, 34 with some of the bullies. They're with tenderizer resistance kind of going, constantly increasing, and about 37, 44 with no bullies. It's not exactly 200, it's around 200 difference. I mean, it did all right, we're getting almost 4,000, but like I said, you don't have to ramp up. Weak point damage, you gotta be able to reach the weak point, and you do sometimes run out of AP. So you have to throw in the small jabs, which take away from your damage. So it wasn't bad, but it definitely wouldn't be an effect I really put on my unarmed. I think the better option is going to wind up being combo. There we go. 108. So wasn't the best time. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but all right, let's go and jump right into. Might as well put on a polish. Not really a bad effect, but not exactly my personal favorite because you get diminished returns with it. It's about a 31 difference on the weapon card, but on the actual performance, it was getting around 39, 60, 76. So it was getting a little bit more than the bullies, 39, 72. With the combo breakers, we're getting like 38 at the highest, so some high 37s, 3700s. So it's getting a little bit more, but just like its counterpart, the bullies, you do run out of AP, so you have to have the small jabs, which kind of kills, your efficiency overall, but it does give you more damage. So about 112 difference is what I averaged out. So not a total waste if you don't have what I recommend, but you want a little extra damage on your unarmed, you don't have a combo to put on there or pounders, then it won't hurt to put it on there. So there we go. Now we're done with the Furious. We're going to jump in and do some aristocrats and maybe one anti-armor. We're going to start with the pounders with power attack damage. Remember, pounders gives us 10%. With up to 10 stacks, so it's an extra 100% damage it should give us. And this will give you kind of a ballpark figure of how much better is the Furious than Aristocrats. Of course, with the power attack damage, we won't see as big of a difference on the overall time, but we will see it on the damage. That is for sure. Because the Furious with the pounders, we're getting 20 stacks. This we only get 10. So we're getting there. We're getting close. We almost got 10 stacks. It's going to wind up being, I think we got about 49.68. That's probably one of the higher numbers. And we actually had like a 5,038, 39, I mean. but for all intents and purposes, we'll just say around 5,000. So it was about 300 off, 350 off from the Furious. But just like the Furious, you know, the power attack damage, I mean, it's not a bad daily driver, but I mean, you just want to see those big numbers. 107. It was a little bit behind the Furious, not super behind, but well, make sure you got some popcorn. Here we go. We're gonna have weapon speed with pounders for the aristocrats, and this one we do see a little bit of difference once we go to weapon speed with the damage difference, because it's like a 300 difference. We get 43, 15 on some of them, and it's gonna constantly fluctuate with tenderizer. We'll see a little bit more of a difference in the time, maybe about 3-second difference, because we're actually punching faster, and that 300 difference starts to add up a little bit between aristocrats and Furious. But aristocrats will be your second best option if you don't have a Furious to put on, as long as you have enough caps to run it. As a Ghoul, it did all right. It held its own. Starting to see a real, you know, through these tests, a real trend as we go through these. Power attack damage is good, you know, like daily driver, but you might as well go ahead and have weapon speed if you can. 43, 34, that was one of our higher numbers. 59, 44, it was, like I said, 56, 76 was a difference with the Furious version of that. And now we're going to take Aristocrats combo. This is the best combination, not this, but having the weapon speed with combo breakers. It's not having pounders on your 4-star. The extra damage, it's not running out of AP and doing nothing but power attacks with weapon speed. That's how you're going to get to maximize the most out of your unarmed build and be able to get your most efficient and get the best times on the boss. And everything else when you're going to one hit and kill. So these effects is really, you know, what's going to be best when you go to a boss fight and you're playing like on a team, you know, that you can be a valuable asset to your team and put down the most serious ground pound damage that you can get. So 3583, we have 57-second time. It was a little bit slower within the Furious. It was like 53 seconds, so like a 4-second difference there. All right, now we're going to compare a couple of these executioners. This is the executioners with the combo, which I would recommend if you want to run unarmed, having an executioners on you with these effects, with weapon speed, with the combo breaker, with +3 strength. And you see we're getting 53, 58. We're getting over 5K, 5,300 is 5364 is the final one, and 36 seconds. That's how quick it goes with the combo. And that's the difference between, it's like when you're firing your weapon in VATS and you run out of AP. When you don't run out of AP and you can do nothing but power attacks, I mean, you're going to get more damage. You're going to land more hits, and you're going to be able to shred apart anything that you're pounding on. So now we got it with pounders and weapon speed. As you can see, we're struggling with AP, so there's the problem. And even though we're getting more damage, we're getting like over 6,000, 6,100 on our weak point damage. We're having to use a lot of light jabs, which in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you want the bigger numbers. But the most efficient and best effect is going to be combo breakers and not having the pounders. Now we're going to throw in the anti-armor just to kind of give you the grand analogy. You can compare Furious, Aristocrat to anti-armor. Those would be the three that I would recommend as a Ghoul. Anything else really ain't worth your time. Furious definitely my highest recommendation. We're getting 3568, so you can see with the Aristocrats we were getting 3583, so it ain't too far off from the Aristocrats with weapon speed in the combo. So if you don't have enough caps to maximize Aristocrats and you don't have a Furious, run around with the Ant armor. Yes, you'll be a little bit behind the Furious, but you'll be pretty close to what the Aristocrats is getting. So the Furious is definitely the best for the unarmed builds. You can see 3582 is our final, the highest number, and 5791. So like I said, that's about 6-second difference. All right, let's compare a couple of these top performers, and let me give you my opinion. Well, thank you for staying tuned to the end of the video. Here we are with the best legendary effects for unarmed, and we got a Furious, Aristocrats, Ant armor, all with weapon speed plus 3 strength in the combo breakers. We also have a Furious with weapon speed and a Pounders, and overall, my best recommendation, especially for a Ghoul, is Furious weapon speed combo breakers. Yes, you get more damage with the Pounders. The Bullies, you still up your damage and polish, but because those power attacks are where you get most of your damage at, even with your radiation power and with your feral strength, using those power attack damage, it takes a lot of AP. And when you can stay locked in, it's like staying locked in VATS, but you have a heavy weapon or a commando weapon, as long as you're in VATS, get those VATS criticals, then you're going to kill something quicker. Or it's the same way with melee. As long as you're getting those weak point hits and you're not running out of AP, you're going to maul anything that you are coming against. And so combo breakers outperforms all the other 4-star effects. Aristocrats is a little bit better than Ant armor. Furious is better than both of those if you have them. And weapon speed definitely recommended. So I'd like to know y'all's thoughts. I give it a big red thumbs up. And in case you don't know, it holds the shortest kill per Earl, 1 second. Shout out to Captain Noob and Tier. They did that back in the day. So yeah, it's not no punk build. It is definitely fun. It is kind of off meta. I mean, it ain't as powerful as being in with your Gatling plasma or your shredder or auto axe, but it's definitely fun, and you can definitely take on just about any boss and any material playing through it. And it definitely, as a Ghoul, it makes it very unique. There's some different things that I do recommend. This is one of the reasons I would play Ghoul, because of some of the interactions and the perk cards and being a Ghoul that makes it different than being human. So I definitely recommend giving it a try if you haven't. Have you played Unarmed? Have you ever thought about playing Unarmed? Does this kind of interest you to think about playing Unarmed? Well, hopefully you'll give it a try, give it a go, because it is fun, it's a blast, and you will one-hit everything in a wasteland. And with all that being said, I hope y'all thrive and survive out there. And this is Big Red. I'll see y'all in the next one.